Dean Hall from the DayZ project. Yeah.
Would you think you're going to move into an independent sort of game?
Well, I think that as the mod stands at the moment, it really does need to head into an independent type project rather than just being a mod. So it needs to move into a game because it can't really handle the capacity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got a finite life there. So that, I've made no secret that that's kind of the thing that I would like to see happen with it. Yeah. So it's really a question of when. I mean, if I didn't do it, I'm sure somebody else would.
Because you were saying how you get 12,000 new people playing a day, it's quite a lot. So you must have a lot of support coming in.
Yeah, there's basically a whole army of people that are particularly managing the servers. So quite early on, we tried to take control of how the servers were managed and run quite carefully, but we realised that that wasn't working. So that's when we basically went out to the community and said, okay, you guys need to manage how the servers are provided, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of that now. It's obviously quite hard for us to provide the community enough support when we're trying to develop patches and that, but it kind of works.
Okay. You were saying about you might go into some sort of construction underground instead of the barbed wire that we've got at the moment.
Yeah, well, we were experiencing, that was the idea behind the barbed wire and sandbags, was to basically allow people the chance to experiment with building and see how it would impact on the server and how people would use it. The problem we're getting is that it doesn't take long before a server just fills up with, thousands of sandbags and wire. So that's where, I really wanted to expand on the underground base concept idea, and I think that is an area that we would like to explore if we can. Yeah. And I think it would avoid a lot of the issues of stuff we see elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, you're going to go for the Minecraft sort of model of...
Yeah, well, obviously the whole idea behind going towards a game is to allow it to be a much more sustainable than it is now. Because as a mod, it's difficult to do a lot of things and we have a lot of problems. So I think moving to a more sustainable model would be better, yeah. And so I think that Minecraft model would work quite well. Whatever price that it started with would depend on what features were available in it. That's probably the biggest thing. So yeah, it would need enough features that people would go, okay, yeah, I don't mind paying for that.
Yeah. So you talked about the one underground feature. Would you willing to talk about any of the other features you might add?
Well, these are obviously just things I'd want. Being able to do them is another thing. I think that, it's a lot of those areas that make DayZ really good that need to be expanded. So, being able to spend more time with the sound and things like that, because the sound's really a really important part of DayZ. The way the infected run and how they interact with you, those kinds of things are really important. So I think being able to develop those things is really key. And then off to the side, there's a few sort of, headline grabber type stuff that if we could do, then people would really identify with, like the underground structures.
So you mean you're trying to smooth the game out while adding new features in as well? Yeah. I
think it would need to be the mixture of those two, because people wouldn't see the difference between if we just smoothed it out and made it run better or had it as a standalone client.
I have a lot of problems with the servers. Sometimes they run a bit choppy. So what kind of things are you going to do about that? 'Cause obviously...
Yeah, well, we've got 1.7.2 running, which it deals with the servers a lot better. So basically rewriting segments of code to make them run better is something we've been doing to try and improve that. And the mod's kind of a hack on top of a hack at the moment, so the more that we can start to integrate it with the engine, the better it runs. And I don't know how early you guys started playing, but it used to be really, really bad when you were trying to get into the server. Like literally people would be sitting at loading screens for 20 minutes and that. Now you kind of either get in or you don't get in, and then occasionally you get stalls, because basically if the server detects it loses connection with the central server, it basically just stops until it gets its connection back. So we need to fiddle with that and improve it a bit.
kind of keep the servers, you manage them, don't you, kind of thing? You don't let people just open up a server.
We've changed a lot from how we used to do it. So we used to ask for like remote desktop and all that kinds of stuff. We've really stepped back. So the idea behind the servers is the community run now. So we don't really get heavily involved in it. But we do require them to be whitelisted. So someone, when they want to set up a server, they need to install all the files, follow all the stuff, and then we whitelist them and enable them to have access. Yeah, we had to disable a lot of our logging and data mining stuff but because of the load that we're receiving on the central server. You know, it's just getting smashed. Like, we have 22,000 concurrents, so that's more than a lot of MMOs. So we had to disable a lot of that stuff in order to make it work. We'll be able to progressively turn that back on. We just, one of our guys, Ander, just recently did a big upgrade to our central server, which is making it function a lot better.
That's good, that's good. One of the things, when I get in trouble, loads of zombies after me, I kind of just abort, and when I respawn in, all the zombies are gone. I mean, that's obviously cheating in a way, isn't it, really? You're cheating yourself. Is there anything you're going to do about that? Or?
Yeah, we actually experimented with 1.72, having it so that the players record their zombies with them. So if you go and log into another server, you bring your zombies with you.
We could die so often.
Yeah, but the problem was, and this is the cool thing about the project, people end up with all this, I guess, really emergent gameplay type stuff. So even during testing, we had people who were pulling in their zombies and using them against other people. So you would get this big horde of zombies and then spawn in another server. The zombies would then run off and get someone else. So it needs a bit of playing with, yeah. But that's the idea, is basically your whole session state will get saved to the server, and when you go in somewhere else, it will bring in those zombies with you.
I suppose you've got to think about how, like, when we were hiding in the airport, for example, they just spawned literally next to us, the zombies, which obviously you have to. Yeah. Which is difficult for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's been some tweaking involved with that with 1.72, and that's why hopefully when we get the rest of the computers other than the laptop working, we'll be able to get some more feedback on it. Yeah. Because the idea is to try and make it a lot more fluid, so that it doesn't break immersion so much. You know, you're running along and suddenly this, the zombie spawns beside you, runs at the speed of a marathon runner, and then glitches into an attack. So
I think when they attack, they stop moving, don't
they? Yeah. So we did do a bunch of motion captured animations, but it's not as simple as just doing the motion capture animation. Getting them working in game and working right is difficult.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because you've got the map at the moment, which is huge, but I was wondering if you were planning on doing any other maps or anything?
Yeah, well actually the one we're trialling here is Utes, which is much smaller, because the idea is to do adversarial. It's really easy to set up the system with another map, so we really want to push and do that as much as we can. And I think being able to do more with that will be quite good, so that you can sort of float in between different islands and different worlds.